Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another session of Speak Your Mind. Last week we were off, and I know a lot of you guys missed us last week. So hopefully tonight we can have a little bit of catching up to do. We're here tonight to listen to your concerns and hope that the policymakers and the decision makers are listening to you, and hopefully that they'll act on what you say. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we hopefully will have a spirited discussion on some of the hot topics this week. This week, the government unveiled a very ambitious cruise ship development plan. Beautiful, beautiful plan. And I hope that many of you out there had an opportunity to attend the meeting, voice your concerns or your like or dislike. Again, it's a very beautiful development. If you didn't get a chance, hopefully we'll have some images of that tonight to show you. I know the wider community probably have some questions or maybe just curious about how it's going to impact your lives, the overall, as you can see on screen right now, how it's going to impact you overall. This idea is a combination of a private-public partnership between the government of the Virgin Islands and a group out of, I believe, Boston, the IDEA group, the UIG group, the Cashman group. These guys have been in development for a long time. They're a very competent group. The gentleman is willing to put up some money to help us get our feet on the ground and build some tourism in this country. So I hope that tonight, folks, if you didn't get a chance to see the project, you didn't get a chance to go down to any of the meetings, you weren't involved, this is a chance for you to get involved. Remember tonight, we're not about shutting you off. If you don't like it, for whatever reason, please just tell us. I mean, be straight to the point. You know, if you're gonna not like it, at least have a legitimate reason. If you like it, say so, and then even tell us why you support it. What do you think? Why do you think it's going to be good for the territory? So that's one thing. I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that as we come back. Secondly, I want to touch a little bit on the prison. Apparently, I've been getting a lot of complaints or advice or even information on the prison, condition of the prisoners, whether the administration, the government, the governor, the ministry that's in charge of prison is doing enough to deal with an overcrowded situation at Balsam Gut. Of course, many of you know the prison. If you didn't know, the prison was designed for a certain amount of people, and they have exceeded that number. So we're right now looking at a situation with people over there overcrowded. There's not enough space. There was been word that many of those prisoners could be qualified for early release, and they're not being released. So whether you're for or you're against, it's nice to hear the concerns. I know that I think just this past week, the government, if I'm not mistaken, the governor, the chief minister, the premier, and also the minister in charge of the subject was at the prison, and doing a survey, looking at what's going on up there. So I'm pretty sure those guys are on top of it. So we'll touch a little bit more of that. If you have any concerns about that, just call us and let us know. I'll be here for the next 2 hours, so call someone and let them know that we're on. Last but not least, I just want to touch a little bit about the school and the graduation that's been taking place. HLSCC, Elmo Stout High School. Also, we want to look at the numbers of people that are being graduating. And my question to you and to the business community and to the wider community, what's next? What's next for some of these students who are not going to go to college and don't have any type of training? What's next for the people who are graduate from HLSCC and is looking for jobs? I heard the Minister for Education recently, when he was giving his speech for the high school graduation, he said, in addition to the folks graduating from high school, the people graduating from college, and the people that are coming back, there's a bigger number. And then we have those folks that the minister did his best to go out and try to help as soon as he took office. So I want to commend the minister for, you know, having some vision on that. I think the minister is doing a great job. But I want to tell the wider community, whatever it takes, whatever you can do to help, you need to help. You can either help them become productive citizens of this country that they're not going to leave, so, or you can, you know, help put money in the government treasury to continue to build more prisons, because that's what we come into. We get into an overcrowded situation. We're having people that are untrained, unskilled. They're out looking for work, some of them. Those who are not looking for work, idle hands create crime. So whatever you could do to help, we have to help. So ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Call somebody and tell them that Speak Your Mind is on. Again, we were off last week for good reason. I had an engagement, Courtney had an engagement, and tonight I believe my co-host is not going to be here with me again tonight. So it's just you and I. So let's dialogue. The phone lines are open. I'm not going to hold anything back. Again, I would like to focus on, you know, what's happening with the cruise ship development. That's a huge opportunity for a lot of us. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to elaborate about that. I think it's a wonderful idea. We need it. We need tourists in this country. We need some of these tourists that are coming on these cruise ships that we know that have some money that we can try to convert to come back and stay longer. That's the idea, and they're coming to our shores, and why not try to capitalize on it? So the first thing on my agenda is, again, is the cruise ship development. So on Wednesday, just this past Wednesday, the government talked a little bit about the cruise ship development. They showed you some pictures. The Minister for Communication and Work, Mr. Mark Vanterpool, he's responsible for that subject. They unveiled a very ambitious $75 million investment. Government is not spending that money. That money is coming from a private fund and in partnership with the government. And the government doesn't have to put anything up other than, you know, leasing the land, about almost 4.5 acres of land to the developers. You can see the pictures again. This development is going to be huge. I mean, you're talking about $25 million to build the buildings and put things up, put the trees and the retail space and all that. You're talking about $25 million to expand our cruise ship dock. Like it or not, it's almost like a done deal. It's here, it ain't going nowhere. Of course, the government is still looking for consultation. They're still asking the public to weigh in, so they want to hear from you. I know they're listening to this show. If you didn't get a chance to go down on Wednesday, this is a chance to call in and tell us what you're thinking, what's on your mind, what's bothering you about this deal, what you like from what you don't like, why do you think it's good, why do you think it's bad. They're going to have a lot of little section there. The government said they're going to have about 25 retail space for locals. So all you folks out there that have business ideas and want to get into business, this is a golden opportunity. It's almost like a business guarantee, the way this plan is coming off. It's huge, folks. If you don't understand it, it's huge. 25 retail space, 500 square feet per space. You can set up a nice boutique shop. The product has to be nice. It has to be high-end. It has to be good quality. The government is not going to take the same stuff you see on the outside of the fence right now. That's not what they want. And for good reason. You want people to come and buy things of good quality, because you're going to be paying good money. You're going to be guaranteed, you know, foot traffic and enough traffic for you to sell your product. 2 cruise ships signed on to this deal so far as we know. Disney Cruise Line. I mean, most of you have known that Disney has been in negotiation with the past government about signing on and being a part of this development. We recently found out that Norwegian Cruise Line is now also part of the deal. Between the two of them, they're proposing about 425,000 people into this country every year for the next 15, almost 30 years. So let's see, 425,000 people, roughly about 8,000 people a week, roughly about 1,100 people a day into the country, people who can stimulate our economy. and a lot of us will benefit from that. Anybody who's going to be over that cruise ship, you know, pier development is gonna benefit. The pier, by the way, it's called the Tortola Pier Park. It's a very interesting concept. I sat in several meetings now with the minister, and I like the idea of having something that you can brand, something that you can compare to. When people now talk about the BVI, talk about Tortola, you know, especially folks who cruise can say, yeah, Tortola Pier Park. You know, it's down in the Virgin Islands, and we can capitalize on that. We can use that as part of our marketing strategy as well for any ones that want to come in and visit us through the cruise ship. So it's a very interesting name. So Tortola Pier Park is a name that's being proposed, and that's a name that's going to be associated with the cruise development. So again, we're looking at 425,000 people. I'm assuming that means we have a year-round cruise ship season. Most of you guys, especially the taxi guys and some of the retailers who work outside of the cruise ship dock, and even the folks downtown who sometimes depend on cruise ship passengers to come in and patronize their shop, know that, you know, we're having a hard time getting people in this country. Even now, just look at what's happening right now. Yesterday or day before was the only day we've had a cruise ship in this country for, you know, for the past month. One cruise ship. The country, the economy has slowed down. We don't have a lot of foot traffic coming in over flying in. So we have to do something. Something must be done. I mean, it's a done deal with the airport. We're getting ready to launch that. I saw a press release talking about that's going to launch, and hopefully by 2015 that would be completed. There's a lot of questions about that. I hear some of the questions all the time, but that's not my focus tonight. My focus is a cruise ship development. I think it's a wonderful deal. Don't take my opinion though. You tell me what's on your mind. You tell me what you think. I'm only going to put what is supposed to be the facts out there so you can run with that. So BVI Landers, folks who are here, 25 retail space would be available. In addition to the retail space, we're looking at kiosks, those small little shops that you can set up, little ice cream parlors or ice cream shops, or you can, you know, sell little things. If you travel on a cruise ship and you go to some of these well-developed ports like St. Martin, St. Kitts, even down in St. Thomas, you'll see on the inside of the cruise ship development, there's all kinds of kiosks. There's kiosks for different products and services. So those are good ideas, and that's something that we can get in on. You can get in on the kiosk, you can get in on the retail space. 500 square feet is a lot of space to work out of. But don't stop there. You can probably get 2 spaces if that's what you want, if you can afford it. And one of the nice things about the local spaces is that government is promising that anyone who get one of those, you're going to have like a rent control deal. You're not going to be paying crazy money, and don't know how they're going to pay the rent because, you know, there's no traffic in your business. So they're guaranteeing you traffic, 425,000 people a year. You're talking about 8,000 people a week, 1,100 people a day. I don't think you could beat that deal. We're talking about controlled rent. Government, I think the minister said something like anywhere between $1,000 and maybe $1,500 to $1,600 a month is what you'll be looking at. So if you can do the numbers on that, and you can get a very small percentage of people every day inside your kiosk or inside your retail space selling your product, I think it's a good deal. One of the things about this whole Pier Park project is that when you really look at all the things and the different services they're going to be offering in there, it's almost like moving the town from the town to the dock. But don't feel that way. What the government is also going to do is part of the money, the $75 million investment, you got $25 million allocated to the pier itself. Another $25 million allocated to the grounds. That's developing the ground itself, putting in the buildings and irrigation and the plants and you know, the trolley. We're going to touch that in a minute. Putting in parking for transportation, ferry service, guys who want to get into water taxi and those sort of stuff. They're going to develop that whole area. If you look at that picture right there, you'll see on the end, down to the right side, you see some smaller ins and out. You're going to have smaller boats going to be able to go in there. So anybody that's licensed and ready to go, get yourself in order. Right now we have guys that operate on the outside. Hopefully they'll be able to come in. Some of them come in on the inside and solicit business and then sell a business from right there. It's a safe, it's a secure area. And so there's opportunity there. In addition to all of that, the $50 million that's going to be spent on the cruise ship, Tortola Pier Park, the grounds and everything, we're going to be looking at another $25 million they're supposed to get, government's supposed to get, to then enhance the town. That means Craft for Life. That means downtown Main Street, refurbishing some of the buildings, fixing the roads properly, creating a pedestrian-friendly area so a flow of people can flow into the town as well. So you don't just have everybody at the cruise pier, but some people will be able to go downtown. They'll be able to do shopping downtown. They'll be able to walk around the town. And you don't want to have to worry so much about not getting any of the business. So you'll have a mixture. Of course, you know, on these cruise ships, we have a mixture of all kinds of people. That picture right there shows the trolley. That's something I'm totally against, but that's just me. I'm just one person. It's just my opinion. But, you know, overall, I think the project is a wonderful project. So we got some good things coming, folks. Again, the phone lines are open. I see some texts. I can't hit your text right now. I got a bunch of texts. I know a lot of people probably want to just text and not call, but, you know, I want to hear your voice. I want to know how you're thinking, how you're feeling. I want to know if you believe that you see yourself a part of the growth. 15 years is a long time. Government have several times in this deal to be able to buy back the project. So some of you that are concerned about losing the property or losing the land, the minister assured you that that will never happen. Based on this deal, the way this deal is structured. And if I'm speaking out of term, somebody please call me and correct me. This is a 48-year deal. 48 years is what the whole thing is about. The first 15 years into that deal, the revenue earning or sharing would be whatever the percentage is for the other investor, and the rest will remain with government. So it's whatever. It's some over here and some over here. The cruise ship, the cruise liners has guaranteeing themselves money back by increasing the head tax. Head taxes is how they're going to look at, one of the ways they're going to measure to get their money back. Currently, we get anywhere from $6, $7 a head per customers that come into this country. The cruise liners are proposing that they can raise it automatically on their customers. They'll raise it to maybe $14, $15, $16. The difference of $7 and whatever they raise it to is what they'll keep. They'll keep that and they'll pay themselves, pay the investor back, you know, and that's how they guarantee it. All we're doing is giving up the land. We're just leasing the land for, the 48 years, and they make their money. Another guarantee is that the revenue earning from the retail space, there's 25 retail space that's going to be allocated for locals. We don't know yet how many is going to be for whoever, but there's still a lot more space available. Of course, the rent is not going to be between $1,000 and $1,500 or $1,600. It's going to be a lot more. But what I would say, what I would like to encourage people to do is BVI lenders. Anybody that has, and when I say BVI lenders, folks, I am not just talking about people that live here or people that bond here. I'm talking about everybody who have rights, who have businesses, who have an idea for business. If this is where you call home, that's what I'm talking about when I say BVI lenders. I'm not in this, you know, you ain't from here, because it doesn't matter now on this deal where you're from. If you have the money, you got the idea, and you can pay the rent, these guys are going to be leasing and renting quality stores to people who have quality products to sell. There's a list, I believe, that's going to be circulated around pretty soon about the type of businesses that would be allowed to operate. Of course, they have all the basics. If you don't know what they are, I can tell you some of those right now. We have, of course, we're going to have boardwalk. We're going to have a terminal building. We're going to have a merchant's walk building. We're going to have an old custom house. We have the Black Swan Tavern. If you don't know, that's a franchise. So don't fight the battle. Go look at different franchises out there and try to get one. Get one, hold on to it, pay for the license, you know, go get yourself organized through the government, so when they release these things, you're the one that owns them. I mean, when you think about, you know, what these guys, who they're going to have to rent to, if you've been to St. Martin or St. Thomas, you know, St. Kitts, you look at some of the stores that are in those cruise piers. Some of them are the same kind of stores over and over and over, and that's how these guys know that these guys are more capable of paying the bill. We have a lot of locals that got some money here. Buy out some of those franchises, hold on to it, and when this thing hit the ground running, you're the one that owns the jewelry store. You're the one that owns that retail store. So we're going to looking at Black Swan Tavern. Of course, that's a restaurant. We have Exchange, the Exchange. We have Retail Village. We have the Market. We're going to have a chapel. For anybody that wants to go into the cruise ship pier and get married, or maybe give your confession, we're going to have a chapel. So all of us sinners, we have another way where we can just go and confess. Boardwalk Merchants Building, we're going to have a performance stage. A performance stage where you can come and maybe watch a show, maybe perform, you know, have a show yourself and perform and bring folks in. That's a really cool idea, the performance stage. The pier enhancement, you're going to have excursion dock. Again, that's the one I talked about. That's the end of the dock there where you're going to have guys going out all day long on excursions. With this kind of people, this volume of people, it's going to be a lot of, hopefully a lot of business. The Ferris wheel, for a lot of you that have kids, you know, summertime, ships are in, you know, like right now, you find where you can't even go on the cruise ship pier, you know, because you're not part of the whole ship thing, or you're not a taxi or a tour operator or something like that. Well, that's going to be done with. Government is getting rid of that whole notion. That hopefully there's not going to be any more gates. You're going to be able to flow in there all day long. You can go have lunch. You can just go shop around. You can just go hit the Ferris wheel. You can do different things. You're going to be able to just walk in there like you walk around town. They have their security issue all mapped out when it relates to getting back onto the ship. So you won't even have to worry about that. They gonna get rid of all of that security from down by the gate. So the Ferris wheel it's like a whole nother world out there. You're going to be able to go out there and just do your thing and enjoy yourself. You got a carousel. You're going to have another boardwalk east, a boardwalk west. You're going to have a community park. Some of the green space that is inside the cruise pier right now, that's going to remain. Of course, we're all about green space. That space is going to be for the same folks sometimes that use it for church. They set up the tent. There might be a soccer match or something like that. So that's going to be there for community use. You know, again, they want to encourage as many activities in the park so people can come down and feel free. They can shop, they can walk around, they can, you know, sit around, people watch, they can grab an ice cream from some of the kiosks. Great idea. Trolley line. Again, they left that one last on the list. Trolley line. I can never be in favor of a trolley line. I want to have this meeting with the developer. I talked to the guy, the gentleman who's in charge of the whole idea. That's the name of his company. His name is Hugh Darley. Very sharp guy, smart. These guys been in the business for a long time. They know what time it is. He and I on difference on that. I told a lot of the taxi guys, anytime you connect a trolley from the cruise pier to any place throughout Road Town, transportation as we know it is dead. That's just my take, and I can defend that. I can defend that anytime. You know, sometimes it reminds me of the argument I hear with urban developers, planners, especially like in the United States. You see them talking about building new highways and building new toll roads and stuff. Any of you that been to the States know fully well. In most of those cities, when there weren't a lot of people, they didn't have a lot of development in some of the outer areas where you didn't have any means of transportation. Then you put in this means of transportation. The first year it works fine because you don't have a lot of people going anywhere. But then you start building houses and you start connecting all these different things. And next thing you know, the toll road is just as busy as a regular highway. This will be busy. You can bet your life on that. That will be busy. And it will be busy with some of the same people that I will be dependent on to transfer from place to place. We have a large group of French people and different folks that come in here and really don't want to spend any money. And this is one of the ways we can get them to spend money, by utilizing the transportation service. So, folks, I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back to continue this conversation. Again, the phone lines are wide open. Call somebody, tell somebody, let them know that Speak Your Mind is on. I'm here tonight. If you have something you want to say, if you just want to hear more, I can talk all night. So I prefer to engage. I got a few texts. I'm going to check those texts, and I'll let you know what the text is when we get back. All right, so we'll take a break. Don't change the dial.